Colby, do you know what?
What's that, Barry?
Some people fall into podcasting, but we crashed into it.
Hell yeah, we did.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another week of Who Watches This podcast, and this month's theme is my childhood crush, Mandy Moore, who I don't believe is like much older than me, so whatever.
Right, it's not creepy.
She's like what, like maybe like 41 at the most?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, probably.
Yeah, still hot. Still just so hot. Disney princess.
Right.
She's also a Disney
Right.
so
And you're right, because I saw a little thing where it was like just a couple years ago, and she was reading her famous lines from past movies.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You're
Still, I feel like more attractive now. She kind of lost the baby face, but she's...
Oh yeah, but like, you know, she aged gracefully.
Oh no, I think she's still super attractive now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because like she used to be a lot more active. I guess maybe during her like transition from pop star to actress.
Right.
Like, you know, but she had a long run in the famous show This Is Us.
Yeah.
But you know, she had her hands full with a lot of teenage like little rom-com indie films.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
I don't remember this movie.
I don't remember this movie either. Yeah.
But before we tell you guys that, we got a little rhyme fest for you guys. You know, it's our little rhyme fest trailers. Oh, Halley, a skeptic of love, daughter of divorce, the type that fits the glove. Mom is jaded, sister's to be wedded, friend is preggers, doom seems to be fated. Until she sees the trees for the foresters. Do you get that? Yeah. So close to love, but she becomes worrisome. With how she can potentially feel, we'll find out in 2003's How to Deal. Oh, this is we're gonna be talking about the 2003 flick How to Deal, starring Mandy Moore, the guy who said that he would fuck his son in happiness. I love that Dylan Baker's role in that movie has always stood out in my head the most. Do you remember? Oh, you watched the movie, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, Jesus Christ, he just told the kid from Miracle on 34th Street. Or no, wait. No, what was that Christmas movie with the kid with the glasses?
Yeah.
Is that the name of the movie? Miracle on 34th Street?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or Christmas?
Something, right? Jesus. We should know this.
I write.
He's also the guy that
Christmas Story?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. He's also the guy that got yelled at in Iron Man 1. Tony Stark did this in a cave with a box of scraps. I didn't know that was him. And then he came back for No Way Home. It's also starring Allison Janney, who is, you know, she's always been pretty solid in her roles. Every time I see her in, she's always playing it up. Peter Gallagher from the OC, that's what I remember him the most from. And I know Mackenzie Astin from The Magicians. He played the trickster god.
Oh, he totally did.
Yeah.
I was like, that was one of the people I was like,
Where's
I
he
know I've
from?
seen him. And like the girl, Alexandra.
Oh yeah, Holden. She was in a huge amount of like teen flicks from back in the day.
Right.
God.
Very much a similar part, like just.
Yeah, she was in The Hot Chick,
Right.
Sugar and Spice. Yeah, we did. Yeah, and so today we're gonna be talking about 2003's How to Deal. It is one of those rom-com and it's funny because it feels like it's from the perspective of a different character that you would usually see in movies. Actually, her character in this movie is probably more relatable in today's like cinema landscape. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the jaded girl that's a daughter of divorce and
right. Yeah, like I feel because we're like kind of now in a generation where people aren't like not they're not so looking for love.
Yeah,
like you still, of course, you have people who want to, but there's a whole big demographic of people who are like, I want to be single. I like to play games. I don't want to put myself out there. I'll be the crazy cat man or cat lady.
It's rough on both sides, right? Because it's like now, like women are more like, taking Steve Harvey's advice about being and act like a woman but have a men's mentality. And then now you also have guys that are like, right. I'm in my like divine feminine era. Like you pick me up, I need you to treat me good too. It's a weird dynamic in today's dating landscape. I mean, I'm a product of that right now. It's been pretty hard. I mean, on the first date, someone asked me what my annual salary was. And at the time, I was working for a charity. So not great. So it's rough. And so, like, her character in this, being a kid of divorce, is much more reflective of today's mentality.
Yeah.
But like let's start the movie. We get a monologue of Mandy Moore talking about how jaded she is about love.
Right. It's kind of the
opening monologue. She's doing yoga, which I mean for her, trendsetter at the time, right. 2003 yoga. There weren't no yoga studios out. She was learning from a book.
Right.
Good for her. I can never learn anything from reading it. Someone has to show me that shit. So I could never be an engineer, Not a successful one, at least.
Right. Yeah. That's true. Oh, man. Time has gone. Sorry, totally like.
No, yeah,
you just made it like it's like it all crushed into my head. I was like, 2000. Like, that's 20 years ago. But there was like if you had a phone, you had like. Maybe you had the Razor flip phone, but you probably had a Nokia. Like a Nokia, you had to hit A like 3 times to make the letter C.
That T9?
Yeah.
I was so good at the T9,
1 3 times to get a C.
I mean, even in this movie, the cell phones weren't really running rampant. Her best friend in this movie had a pager.
Right. So, I mean, like, God, man, it's crazy that, like, there's a whole generation of people who have had smartphones since they were 5. And, like, I got my first phone at, like, 25, maybe?
You were
30?
No. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe, like, you didn't even have the Zach Morris brick phone?
I was already married when I got my first phone. My first cell phone.
We got married young.
No, not really.
No. I think I got a Nokia. I'm going to age you out right now. I think I got a Nokia 8th grade. So like 14. I think at the latest. But that was like the Nokia brick phone. That's the thing that could survive an atomic blast.
Right. Yeah.
That's the phone you got?
The Nokia with a little screen on top.
Yeah.
The one game you had was Snake.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you had maybe like 8 ringtones. The Entertainer and the.
Yep, but you had a battery that lasted like 12 days.
Yeah, that's true. God, man, really? Man, it's so crazy. Yeah, because someone like was just talking to me today when I was doing our deliveries, and they're like, "Hey, you know what turned 25 today?" I was like, "What?" She's all that. I was like, "Oh shit." But no, yeah. So this is like sort of like the landscape of this movie. So But you get a little like little tidbits of like who's in her family. Her mom, who is kind of still processing being left by her husband for a girl that did Pilates
Right.
or something like that. And then she rolls her eyes at her sister, who just announced that she just got engaged.
Yeah.
You know, and so she's just like, ugh, I need to get out of this house. There's two other crazy women with me. So she ends up, I don't know, she's not barefoot. She has her like low, her low, God, what is it, low top Converses on. She goes to her best friend's house, who is getting busy.
Right.
Which, I mean, like, I understand best friends, but come on, not.
And to me, like, this is the most hard to believe part of the movie. Like, she, like, busts into her friend's room, and her friend's getting busy, and the guy jumps out of the bed, and she's all, like, trying to cover up. The guy's all trying to cover. And she just, like, stands there in the door. She's not like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my God. Let me run out of here. She's just like, I'm going to stand here because I want to talk to my friend. So you get dressed and get the hell out of here because...
I mean, her flabber was gasted, you know?
Like, you're not even going to step... Oh, my God. Meet me out front. My eyes.
Maybe she wanted to peek, you know? She's like, well, let me see what this guy's working with. But, like, no, even her best... You know, you could tell the relationship between these two girls is probably, like... They're probably, like, sisters.
Yeah.
You know? And so... So, like, you know, they have... You know, they have girl time, and her friend Scarlett is just like, oh, my God... John is just so hot. He's the captain of the soccer team. No, sorry, his name is Michael. Michael's the captain of the soccer team, and he's just so sweet. And Mandy Moore's character, Halley, is just like, oh my God, could you just like do your business with him? But like, you know, love is just so
right. Don't be catching the feels.
Yeah, it's just so translucent. It's so what is it called? When something like flies away, it's so
like transcendent or elusive.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it'll just escape you. I just don't want to see you get hurt and all that stuff. And Scarlett's just so in love. You know, when you're a teenager and your hormones are raging.
Yep.
Just nothing's gonna stop you from sucking that deep. No. Same for him though, but like, so like they hang out for a little bit, but then she ends up going to dinner with her dad.
Yeah.
Who is the radio jockey of the local area?
Right, soft rock.
Yeah, but he has that horn dog personality. You know, they're trying to have like this like good dinner, but then like Halley is just kind of like that. She plays this teenager really well, of like sort of like angsty.
Yes, definitely like where teenage girls especially like just don't care about their parents and are just like whatever.
Yeah, like okay, Dad, and then like. A fan of his radio show, which I was like, how does he even know how this guy looks like? Because you know that's the one thing about being a radio.
Well, if you're the big radio jockey for the town, then you're probably
billboards.
You're probably getting you're like hosting like the concerts that come in through town, and
the
stuff
pie
like
eating
that.
contest at the festivals or something.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I always think about that because the radio people I listen to in the morning, they're always talking about. They're like, "Oh, I'm all so tired tonight because last night, whatever, Limp Bizkit was here, and I had to like introduce them."
Sorry, were you listening to the radio from 2008, Limp Bizkit?
That was the first thing about the. Yeah, I don't know. They may have done a song in this movie. Who knows?
Oh man. But all of a sudden, this Bam Bam Bigelow of a biker comes in. He's like, "Oh, what's up, horn dog?" And all that Halley could look at is this dude's gut spilling onto the counter, which is like my overweight like nightmare. if at any time I'm standing somewhere and my belly is resting on something, I'm like, oh, I gotta lose weight. But like, she's so disgusted by this whole interaction because she's like, he's like, this ego from her father has inflated so much because he's like this local celebrity, right?
Right. Which as a teenager, it just makes you hate your parents more.
Yeah, you're not in movies. We're not going to red carpets.
Right. Yeah. You're not famous because you're not rich.
Yeah, you're cutting the ribbon at the new Toys R Us that opened. You know? But like, as this biker walks away, he like says what's up to his son, but then he barks at this teenage girl playing that coin machine, which is like really just gambling at this point for little kids, right? And then all of a sudden, his fiance we don't know if they're fiance or not,
right?
But his girlfriend comes, and she is now even more disgusted.
Right? Yeah, because she's nice and young.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, like when we see her,
mom.
Well, like no, but like when we see her in the wedding dress, she looked much younger. In this one, she looked like, I was like, oh, she doesn't, maybe like 5 years younger than the mom. But then when she's in the wedding dress, she looks a lot more like youthful.
Yeah.
But this girl's trying to connect with the daughter, but she's just like, what did she say? She's like, oh, you are getting prettier every day. And she's just like, well, that would make more sense if you've seen me every day.
Because last Tuesday was pretty ugly.
And today, well, But then they're like, oh my God, your hair is so beautiful. You're just like your father. And then we cut to the next scene. And Mandy Moore is like telling Scarlett, you're going to have to chop this shit off.
Yep, cut it all off.
Yeah. I don't want them saying I'm like my dad in any aspect. And so, she gets her like, I think she rocked this haircut for like a good while. Mm-hmm. She was like one of the only girls I've seen that's been able to pull. I think it's a specific type of girl that pulls off this hair. And it's usually like the really angsty chicks.
Yeah.
Like Shannon Sossaman in 40 Days and 40 Nights with Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
Her hair. Oh, first of all, she's also a huge crush. Like, I was like, I watched that movie and I paused it on the scene where like she had the flower over her nipple, but then you can kind of see the nipple. I used that. I'm gonna lie. If you're able to track down my local VHS store guy, he could tell you that portion of the tape is worn out. But yeah, no, and so like we cut to a scene. We meet Forrester, who is best friends with Michael, and they're at a card shop, and he is Mandy Moore in this whole situation because. He's just like, oh, love is just so trite. It's like that friggin' slam poetry vocab bullshit, right? He's like, Michael is so in love, and he's like, what about this one that says like something about the heart? And so then he opens it up. He's like, I hope you get your like donation or whatever or transplant. And he's like, just kidding. He doesn't say anything. Jeez. But then they all of a sudden meet up there, Scarlett and Halley and Michael and Forrester. And then, obviously Scarlett and Michael, they like hug and make out because that's what you do when you're a teenager.
Right.
And
because it's always like the group of friends that you got in like high school that's like a few guys, a few girls.
Yeah.
And then there's always like one couple, and it's always just gross.
Yeah,
it's not you're super jealous of it, but it still kind of grosses you out, and you have to make fun of them all the time.
Yeah, because they're always making out.
Yeah,
or fighting.
Yeah,
either one.
Right.
Fighting is the worst one. I'd rather you guys be quiet and making out somewhere in the corner. Besides, like, or instead of like trying to have us pick sides.
Yeah.
Like, Colby, who's right in this situation? I don't know. Cheese. Cheese is always right. I feel like that's a comment that's a statement you would have made back in high school.
It's possible.
So Forrester recognizes Halley, and she's like, "Oh, you remember me?" He's like, "Yeah, we had bio together." And she's like, "You've never been to class." And, I don't know where this is in, but this is a state that has a no child left behind policy.
Right.
Because later on, we cut to them first day of school. Mandy Moore, I'm just gonna call her Mandy. Halley is, I don't know. Mandy's in the guidance counselor's office, and she's like trying to fix her schedule. She's like, "This is not my schedule," And the guidance teacher does not. The guidance counselor does not want to do her job.
Oh, right, yeah, and she's just like, "Oh, yeah, you've already taken calculus."
No, algebra.
Well, you've already taken calculus, and you're in algebra. Hey, it's an easy class. It's like a refresher class.
She's like, "Hey, I have boys PE." She's like, "Huh. All right, well, we don't want a whole Jenna Jameson situation happening." Fine, here, fill out this form. I was like, Jesus, do your job, lady. Like, it's obviously not her schedule.
Right, yep.
And but she steps out to grab the next student while she fills it out. And then over the radio, she hears the announcement of her father's elopement.
Oh, right. Yeah, because on the radio.
Yeah, and super upset. But unfortunately, the next student that comes in is Forrester.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, fuck,
Right, and he's like I feel like if we want like a whole generation, he's like the Christian Slater kind of like person who's just like,
Oh God, I don't even know who you would do it for today's thing, because someone's gonna be like, who the hell is Christian Slater?
Right. It could be like Josh Hartnett in like Faculty, like that kind of part.
No, I think we have to equate it to like Euphoria terms. He is Noah or whatever that fucking dude is from Saltburn. He's the from Kissing Booth. He's that actor. I think that's the actor for like today's generation, right? Because especially in Euphoria, he's like this asshole,
right?
That everyone just wants to fuck. But like Forrester isn't that. He's just like he's kind of just a free spirit.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if he was taking college, he's like leisure studies is my major.
Yeah.
But he's on first name basis with this guidance counselor. She's like, all right, I'll see you later, Mary Beth. Because she's old, so I was like, I figure her name was an old lady name.
Right, yes.
And so like he follows.
You said that, and it just was like, that must be it. I think I remember him saying that.
But he follows Mandy Moore out, and he's like, hey, I am guessing that's your, that you didn't know that your dad's getting like married and all this stuff. And he's trying to like comfort Mandy Moore.
Right.
And so they like sit on the steps because he's like, I'm a kid of divorce too. So that's something that they can kind of trauma bond over. But he's like, I saw you're having trouble with Mary Beth. And if you need help, I can help you. We have a very extensive relationship. And she's like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah. So what I do, right, is do Jedi mind tricks.
Right. Yes.
And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, you've never seen Star Wars? She's like, no. I'm a fairly attractive woman. But he's like, all right, this is what you do, right? You look her in the eyes and you tell her like, you will give me my schedule, and then you put those words in her mouth, and she's like, I'm gonna give you the schedule. She's like, yeah. And she's like, it's like this, right? Like, you will let me take you out on Friday, and you will ask me on a date. And she's like, like on a date? She's like, exactly. So Friday is good, right? It's a very like, it's a cute like little interaction, bad boy kid, like, overachiever girl.
Right. Yep.
And all that stuff. So she's just like, I don't know. Like, love is so fleeting. That's the word I was looking for.
Fleeting, yes.
Right. It's so, like, it kind of cuts right there. She goes back, to talk with her mom and her sister, and they kind of have like moments together. Mom is obviously super upset because they just found out about the whole marriage.
Right.
And I was afraid that she was going to cut off her finger
during this chopping.
Chopping the way that she did. Jeez, sus. That is not how you're supposed to be chopped. And they try to stop her, but no, you know what I'm saying? And so later she hangs out with Scarlett, and then they kind of run into. We do have a cut of the sister and her fiance going to look at wedding venues with the mom.
Right.
and all this stuff. Mandy Moore's sister is not happy with this. It kind of just looks like drab.
Yeah, and he's definitely like, hey, the most important part is we're together, and she's like, no, that's not the most important part. This is a wedding. I've spent my whole life planning this wedding,
so it has to go the way
right. And he's
it
like,
has to
but
be romantic.
this place takes care of everything for us, and she's like, no, but planning's like the stressful part, but it's the part I want to do.
Yeah. So. Exactly. Oh my god, I've been to weddings that like he was like kind of trying to like do.
Yeah.
And like those, the food is kind of like whack, and it's convenient, but it's sort of like it lacks the personality of the couple,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
And so like they kind of run into, well, like Mandy Moore doesn't run into them, but like she like sees them. And she's like telling Scarlett, look at them. Like, they're already falling apart and they're not even married yet.
Right.
And Scarlett is just like, no, they're fighting because they love each other so much. They care enough to fight.
Right. And it's a cute argument because she's so in love with Soccer Boy.
Yeah.
And so, like, everything that they're doing is, like, because they're in love.
Yeah.
And she's, like, so against love that everything they're doing is breaking them up.
Yeah. And ultimately, like, Scarlett's point of view kind of wins out because they end up, like, making up within, like, 3-4 minutes. It's just, Mandy Moore just rolls her eyes, right? After that, they do end up going to Michael's soccer practice.
Right.
Because, he gets a little beep. She gets a little beeper.
Yeah.
That sends out hearts. And she's like, oh, he's at practice. Let's go watch. And, Michael, he's no, Messi. But, he scores a goal, though.
Right.
And like they're so proud, and like even like Mandy Moore's, she's like getting into it, she's like supporting her friend,
right? Yeah,
which is great, And then they're like yelling out, "Michael, Michael!" And he takes a little bow, and then he has a heart attack. I was like, that has to be like a precondition thing. He must have had like the John Q situation, an enlarged heart or something.
Right? Yeah, a bad valve in there or something. Yeah, at that age, 18? On an athletic kid.
Oh.
Hey, I'm glad it happened on the field and not in the bedroom. That would have traumatized her for life.
It's as he's arriving, that would sex ruined.
Right, yeah, forever.
Or she might have like an overinflated ego, like, yo, this pussy's so good, some dude had a heart attack. No, but it is a very sad situation because we do find out later in a couple like a little music cutscenes that Michael ended up passing away.
Right. And
so she goes to visit Scarlett because they're preparing for the wake, and she's just like freaking out. She doesn't have anything to wear, and she's just like, I just want to look good for him the last time.
Right. Yeah, and it's definitely then dress for him and don't dress for a funeral.
Yeah. And so she goes in like this like, like very 2000s like picnic dress.
Right. Yep.
And everyone is like in black and everyone's looking at her like, wow. Like there's like these mean girls that are like, wow, look at this attention whore and all that stuff. And it's sad, you know what I mean? Like, and so like they're doing the whole like eulogies, and the best friend comes up and he brings a fucking boombox like John Cusack, and he looks like he's dressed like the best friend from 16 Candles. If he was a D&D character, definitely a rogue, right? Or a thief or something like that, right? But he pulls out this page, this letter, and he's like, he wants to read from it, but he's just like, I'm not so good at the reading.
He's like, yeah, I'm also not so good at the writing.
So that was good. We did not plan that. So he goes from the heart, and he's just like, Michael was the best of us. He, saying that like, he taught me to be myself and not be afraid of what anyone else was thinking.
Right.
And to just live my life. He was so good at everything. And he made it look so effortless. A good eulogy from a best friend.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, he even mentions Scarlett. Michael loves Scarlett so much, so that can kind of get the heat off of her.
Right.
For wearing like this Sunday dress. And then he ends up playing just like a random like soft rock song. and everyone kind of like, gets up and is celebrating Michael's life.
Right. Yeah.
And then by the, with the wake kind of ends and then everyone's outside, it starts pouring rain, and it kind of like does like another cut to like, well, like a little bit later after this scene, Mandy Moore is the only one standing there. And then she meets up with Mike Forrester again, and they have like a little montage of them hanging out together. Also hanging out with Scarlett. Don't want to make her feel so alone.
Right.
And until one night, he's like throwing rocks at a random window at her house. And she's like, what the fuck? And I swear, in this scene, Mandy Moore's not wearing a bra. I was focusing harder than I've ever focused in life. But like, she dresses up and she appears not anywhere near the house. She's like a fucking vampire. She appears from the shadows. And do they kiss or they almost kiss?
They kiss because that's when he Jedi mind tricks her.
Oh, right. Yeah. He's like, you will let me put my hands around your waist.
Yes.
But like, not like in a creepy non-consent way. Like, it was like a cute moment.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden the mom comes out. She's like, what's that noise? And they hide, and then Mandy Moore ends up like popping out. But then all of a sudden Scarlett pops out from the bushes too, like a fucking, like the other vampire in her fucking
she's all
cousin.
like, oh, it's okay, I'm a second mom. I was just coming over here because I gotta talk
to Mandy Moore. And she's like, all right, well, girls, can you do it inside and not outside? And so we find out that Scarlett is preggers.
Yep.
Because then, like, they're kind of going through it, and Mandy Moore's trying to, like, no, you're not. And then she's like, well, I hate grapefruit, and I'm eating grapefruit. And
right, they're kind of looking through, like, a magazine online.
Or it was a book. It was a book, yeah.
Like the
pregnant books.
Right, now you would just look it up on the internet. But then they were looking through books.
And she's like, I hate the way you smell.
Symptoms of...
And she's like, what do you mean? I don't have any perfume on. She's like, it's just my soap. And she's like, oh. So they go to a pharmacy.
Yeah.
And they try like 6 different pregnancy tries.
Right. It's like, do you want to pee on it or do you want to dip it in pee? And she's like, I don't care. Just get them all.
Right. And they're in this bathroom, which I've been in that situation as well. I was like, well, do it now. We got to find out now if you're pregnant. Scariest, like, 5 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
And Mandy Moore's just like, well, it's light pink. It's not really pink. She's like, I'm fucking pregnant. And then they get back to the house, but then they find out, like, they get caught by the mom. Super upset that Mandy Moore's the one driving because she's a terrible driver.
Oh, right.
Like, the mom is like, you sit down, Halley Martin. I can't believe you drove. You're a terrible driver, and you don't have your license. She's like, I'm so sorry. And so she ends up, like, during this, like, portion of the movie, she does end up spending a lot of time with Forrester. Because Scarlett is obviously grounded from being pregnant. Yep. And trying to figure out that whole situation. And so Mandy Moore and Forrester spent a lot of time. Like, it's like, this is another, like, montage. For an hour and 40 montage, they had, like, a couple of montages.
Right.
Hour and 40-minute movie, they had a lot of montages, right? In the middle.
It's a weirdly not romantic montage. It's just a bunch of them hanging out and... Yeah. Slowly getting flirtier. Yeah, well, this is the second time they've done that. Yeah. Right. But in the middle of that, they end up having Mandy Moore and her family end up having to go to dinner at Ashley, that's the sister's name, her fiance's home. Right. Yep. But before that, Grandma's getting high in the bathroom. I was like, Grandma is a gangster. Grandma weirdly doesn't even belong in this movie. Like, there's no point for her, but they like she's like a little funny, so they like throw her in there every once in a while to try to lighten the mood. Oh, like, I love High Grandma because she's like saying all this shit. Mandy Moore is cracking up in the background. Yeah, because she's like, oh my god, Grandma High is so funny. And so they go to this dinner, or like this like family meeting, and this house is huge. Right. Okay. So Ashley's fiance comes from money, and this dinner just goes
every wrong way that you could think of. It does. The mother of her fiance is taking not back shots. I don't want to say that because that's a whole different meaning now.
But like
backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I just didn't think my young little trickster god would get married so soon and so young into a woman so...
Yeah, I didn't think he gets married so young. I figured he'd wait till he found the right woman.
Yeah. Oh in what world does that, like... in what world does that compel you to say that to someone's face?
Right, yeah.
But, this is how rich people are, especially old money. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but Ray, he defends a little bit, but like Mandy Moore is having a hard time eating this pheasant.
Oh right, yes, because we were like, oh yeah, no, we're supposed to have turkey, but instead we each get our own squab.
Oh my god, yeah, I was like, Jesus.
So it must have been like a Thanksgiving or something.
Oh yeah, it's so gamey though, you know what I mean? Like wild birds are kind of gamey, and they're like, they didn't even chop it up. It's like the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
like,
right.
So Mandy Moore's having trouble, and she like kind of gets away from her. So she's like, "Excuse me, can I go to the bathroom to like wash off or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh, this is a house that smokes because there's just a jar full of cigarettes there." Must have been the mother's, you know what I mean? And so I guess she tries smoking for the first time. That's how usually smoking goes for the first time.
See, now I feel like I weirdly missed something. You said that. Because I assume when she started smoking, I thought she had stole a joint from Grandma.
Mm-mm. No,
it was like, you're really gonna like smoke weed the first time in some stranger's house? Doesn't make any sense. Like that seems very irresponsible.
This is a jar filled with cigarettes, some Lucy's, and the alarm goes off, and so she tosses it. But then their dog comes in when she opens it and starts humping her mom's leg, and she's like, "Dinner over, bro." Yeah. After this, like they, her and Forrester spend a little bit more time together, but they get really close to fornication, to coitus.
Yes.
And Mandy Moore freaks out. She's like, this was too close. Because she could see herself kind of start to fall for Forrester just because they're trauma bonded.
Right.
And, he's just kind of like what she needed at that time. Somebody to kind of unbind her from her chains of...
Yeah, and I like that committing that act will... It's easy enough to like be like, I like you, but I don't like you. Yeah. But then if you do that, then all of a sudden it's gonna be like, maybe I do like you.
Yeah, if I give you this pum pum,
Right. Yeah.
But she freaks out, and then so she's like, Forrester, obviously he's like full like ready to launch mode.
Right.
So he's kind of like a dick about this whole situation. But when you're a teenager,
I have been in that situation, and like, it's hard to
so close
understand
to the finish line.
When you're like, yeah, you're like, you were just saying yes, and now it's no.
Which I mean, like, you have to respect, but like at the moment that happens, you're like so flustered.
Yeah.
Because your monkey brain.
Yes.
Is your caveman.
Right.
Which kind of like turns you into a little bit of an asshole, right? But he ends up starting to drive her home, and they're kind of like arguing in the car because Forrester, he's already kind of like, he's in this situation where he's like, yeah, it's obvious that I like you, but he hasn't said it.
Right.
They just been hanging out together, and Mandy Moore is like, no, because it just gets messy, and then like we'll end up hating each other, whatever.
Right.
And all that stuff, and then all of a sudden they end up crashing into a tree. Mandy Moore is doing her monologue. This is where we get the quote from the beginning. She's like, I didn't think I'd fall into love. I fucking crashed into it.
Yeah.
Her family visits her at the hospital. Her dad with her, new wife. Oh yeah, sorry, I totally skipped that part. But they end up having some stupid beach wedding. That was like,
before? Or after?
It was before, because
Okay.
she broke her arm.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it was like a drive-by, like prenuptials. Like I
Right.
do.
And it's on the air because they're all like, "You got to hurry up and wrap this wedding up because you only have 10 minutes left of airtime," kind of thing.
Yeah. So they come to this beach. I do, and then they get back into the helicopter and fucking leave to like probably Sandals, Jamaica.
Right. Yeah.
That's where I feel like a lot of like second marriage honeymoons go to.
It's beautiful. got nice beaches.
I didn't think it was a real place until The Office. Or like I would watch it in The Office, like that's not a real place, and then I started seeing advertised, like, oh, it is a real place. Yep. But she is super upset at Forrester because he like disappears for like a month.
Yeah.
You know, and he's probably like riddled with guilt that he got into this like car accident.
He never visits her at the hospital, and then when she gets back to school, like at the beginning we were talking about how often he ditched school, and then he's not at school, and so she's just like,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, and so like, I mean, like during that time, she probably like in her mind solidified like I like Forrester, but he's not coming to visit me. What the fuck? And so when he gets back to school, and when he gets back to school, he's like, hey, what's going on, Thundercat? I don't know what the fuck he says.
It's something like that, yeah.
And she's like, I cannot wait for you to grow up.
Right.
You know, like I was like gonna tell you like I like you or whatever, but then you never showed up. I can't wait for you to be more of a grown person.
Yeah.
You know, and so their stuff kind of fizzles out. And then
and as a teenager, you don't understand. Like you're I just showed back up and I said hi, and now you're mad at me, and I don't. Yeah, but my brain doesn't connect to A and B. I just think, what the hell?
But a month in teenage years is a year.
Long time. And then during that time, is that when the sister?
Yeah, I was about to get So she gets back home, and then the sister is like they're drunk.
Yeah. With
a pair of thong underwear on her neck.
Right.
And they're like pretty wild bachelorette party, but the morning after, Ashley's fiance comes with like coffee and stuff. Like, you should have took it a little bit easier. I only had a glass of wine at my bachelor party.
Right.
You know, him and his friends probably like maybe they had like some whiskey or whatever, and probably a couple steaks and just had a chill night.
Right. Yeah.
But then Mandy Moore drops. It's like, yeah, it was pretty wild. I mean, there was like a male thong right around her neck, and he pretty livid because he was like,
what?
Yeah, because he was like, I thought we agreed no strippers.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't control what my friends do. She's like, yes, you can. Like, what the hell, man?
And then 20 years ago, the bachelorette party was just kind of becoming a thing. It was really still like guys had a bachelor party, girls had like a bridal shower. And so it
wasn't like a huge thing back in the 90s?
No. I think it was probably early 2000s where it was kind of starting to become a thing. Now it's like, of course, we both have that
wild night.
Yeah.
Right? It's crazy, right? And so they end up like calling off the marriage. And I believe like why were they at the airport? I feel like they were going somewhere for like a trip at the airport because all of a sudden he's there doing classic like John Hughes
right,
like
big bouquet of flowers
and a re-proposal.
Well, yeah, waving to her through the window.
Yeah, and he's like, I can't let you go, baby, please.
And so propose again.
Yeah, so he ends up proposing again. I gotta kind of like rush it a little bit right now, and so they end up like reinstituting the marriage. It's gonna happen, and what's Forrester ends up barging into her dad's radio station.
Yep.
And he's like, I am so in love with you, Mandy Moore. I'm so sorry. He's like, the dad is like, wait, hold on, my daughter? Like, chill out.
That's like the morning of the wedding.
Yeah, he's like, chill out. You don't get to be a dad today. Because you're not even at the wedding. And so
it was kind of like the you got to do something to to win me back.
Yeah.
Since you screwed up.
Yeah, he screwed it pretty bad. And so he does this like grand gesture. And so they're getting ready. Well, before they get ready for their wedding, Mandy Moore kind of shits on the dress. I forgot. There's an entire subplot of the mom finding Dylan Baker. He's like he's the soda machine. He's the soda guy.
Right. Yeah. it's a weird subplot that doesn't
really I mean, like later, Mandy Moore finds out that her mom has been sneaking out to have sex with Dylan Baker, and all that stuff. It's when everything was sort of like imploding during the time when Ashley was like breaking off her engagement.
Right. Oh, I think it was when she was drunk. She mentions it. Yeah.
But no, and so like the day of the wedding, everyone's getting ready, but Scarlett, she's like, she doesn't make it into the church.
Right.
Because her water breaks.
Yeah.
And then so Forrester comes in, suit and tie, and he's like, your friend Scarlett's having a baby right now. And then she's like, what? And so as soon as like, they do the I do's and they kiss and everything, he walks up.
At least he waited till an appropriate time to walk up. He didn't like just scream, your friend's having a baby in the middle of a wedding.
But like, it's still like kind of to the old heads and the thing. It's like this guy just comes up to the maid of honor and like kind of takes the shine away from Ashley, but Ashley doesn't really give a fuck.
Right. She's like, oh yeah, she's pregnant. Go.
Oh my God. She doesn't even say go, but she's like, I gotta go. And she's like, yeah. And so they end up, rushing Scarlett to the hospital, and the nurse is like, what, the dad want to be? She's like, that's not the dad. The mom comes rushing in, and they have this, this baby looks like a cone head. I'm not going to... This baby has a big-ass head. But then, like, the whole, like, Ashley is there with, like, her husband, and even the husband's parents are there. Right. They're just, like, looking through this window at this baby, and then credits cut there. So, obviously, what's called Scarlett did end up writing to Michael's parents, who had moved to Florida, about how she was pregnant with Michael's son.
Oh, okay.
That was like in the movie, but yeah. But the movie ends right. Oh, I'm sorry. There is a moment in this film, like there's a moment towards the end where after Scarlett goes into the delivery room,
right,
where Mandy Moore has her 10 things I hate about you moment. Which I was like, I had to look up which came first.
Yeah.
And it was 10 things I hate about you. I was like, oh, that's a weird include in this movie, because she's like, I love you, but I hate so many things about you. I hate the way your eyebrow scrunches up when you're thinking about.
Yeah.
It was like, but then she brings it back with like, but now you're gonna walk 3 steps towards me, and now you're gonna put your hands around my waist.
She Jedi mind tricks him.
And then you're going to fuck me in the supply closet. Oops, sorry, wrong show. That is Grey's Anatomy. Oh, man. So before we get into talking about our thoughts about this movie, let's go to our other segment, High Star, Low Star.
Boom! 10 out of 10. Fun little movie to take your girlfriend to. I'm a huge fan of these little chick flicks, and How to Deal was basically just another one. But that doesn't mean it was bad. I really enjoyed it. There were a few problems at the very start and in the middle, but overall package was very fun and lighthearted. Go see it if you have a soft spot in your heart for cheesy movies.
These reviews are from 2003, by the way. 1 out of 10, horrible. Unfortunately, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. The script is awful. The movie felt like it had been completely recut at some point because it didn't even make sense. Too many characters, too many tragedies, not enough connection with the characters. I felt bad for the good actors trapped in this bad movie. Like, I wanted Dylan Baker to say he was going to fuck his son again. That's not in the review. If I ever meet him, I want to ask him about that scene, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be pissed off.
Right.
No, except for the male lead, who was a very, very bad actor, though extremely cute. To be honest, the male lead for this, he kind of looked like Josh Hartnett great value version.
Yes, yeah.
Because at first, when you see the movie poster, it's like, is that fucking Josh Hartnett?
Right. Yeah, if it was, I don't know, 10 years earlier, maybe.
No, he could have played that role.
He could have played that role.
Yeah, from
high school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
I mean,
see, there we go. That's you're right. This is 20 years ago. So.
Yeah, he definitely could have played that role. I felt like they had Josh Hartnett in mind, but they're like, Josh Hartnett's making some big bucks right now. We can't probably afford that. And Mandy Moore's still getting into acting, so how about we get this skateboarder guy? He looks like a skateboarder guy, right? Kobe, what did you think about this movie?
I enjoyed it. Like, it was a cute movie. There was some kind of like the review, the second review. Certainly not a 1, but there was like some stuff that was just missing. Like I either wanted it to be funnier or more romantic, and it didn't really kind of hit either one of those. Like you said, Grandma's the funniest part. She didn't like even need to be in the movie, but it was good that she was there because she was like a good comic relief. Yeah. But like, yeah, there was too many little subplots that didn't quite like. They wanted to give you all the different angles of love and like how she got to feeling how she did and how like she would grow through those different stages. But there was just a little too much with the mom's relationship and the friends, and then the person dying, and then grandma, and then her sister, and it was just like, and then her dad, and it was just like a little, like it needed to cut 1 or 2 of those out, and I feel like it would have flowed a little bit smoother.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like weird to have this weird tragedy in the middle of this film with like her friend's like boyfriend dying. I felt like that could have been like they could have stuck with the plot of her getting pregnant with the guy, with Michael and everything. I think that would have been fine. I think it just took too much away from like the actual main plot of the movie.
Right.
Because like I'm fine with like the mom hooking up with Dylan Baker because it was so like just like you probably could have cut those scenes out. It wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
So yeah. But it took up so little screen time that it was fine to me just because you did see how depressed the mom was.
Right.
And all this, especially when she was trying on dresses, she just looked like, I don't want to be here. Like, I mean, I love my daughter. Obviously, I want to be here, but I'm not in the right headspace. So for her to, like, have somebody, because then that was a little sweet moment where he comes into her office with, like, the flowers. But then it's just like, where does this come from? Because they met at a fucking soda machine.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, he knows where she works.
Yeah. Like, it's like I said, there was, like, I don't know if it was one of those things where it was like, this movie needed to be 15 minutes longer so you can kind of flush some of those things out, or
15 minutes shorter,
or remove like 1 or 2 of them, and that way everything else could fill in the gap. Because
I feel like it's fine to have those stages of relationships in it for her to see, with like the young love with her best friend and Michael, and then to see like the marriage between, you know, the relationship development between the sister and her fiance,
right?
And then, you know, her divorced mom trying to find something new. I think that would have been fine, but it's just like too many. Like the dad could have just been omitted from this. Honestly, like he could have just been a character that just got divorced and ran away with the fucking Pilates instructor.
Right. He could have been you could have just heard about him, and that's why the mom was sad.
Yeah.
He didn't actually have to even be there at the wedding and stuff. You're right. That could have been an easy fix for that.
Yeah, like you could have just been like, you know, they don't have a relationship with the father anymore because, you know, they cheated. You know, both daughters were angry at their dad for doing what he did, and that could have been like really the crux of like her whole outlook on love, and then that would have been fine. You would have cut like 5 to 8 minutes out of that. You know, we didn't need this.
Because at the beginning she complains, like she's got her little monologue, but it didn't seem as jaded against love as she was trying to portray
in the movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are like the little nitpicks. Like personally, for me, if I was gonna do like a rating for this, it'd probably be like maybe like a 6 out of 10, just because of like the weird cuts in this movie.
I feel like that's probably
pretty fair.
Pretty fair.
You know, because I mean, you know, this gets a +1 bump because of Mandy Moore, and you get to see her in Houseware.
Yeah.
I think I was a junior when this movie came out, so don't be all like, oh, that's weird.
It's interesting because this is the director's movie debut.
Oh yeah.
This is the first movie that the director does. She does a lot of TV shows. She did a few TV shows before this. This is her first movie. She did a couple movies, and then she did a couple episodes of Gen V, the teenage
the boys
spinoff.
Yeah,
and then she's done a bunch of episodes of the Game of Thrones spinoff.
Oh, House of Dragons.
The House of Dragons. So like, I feel like she found her niche more in a TV setting, but in that kind of
time frame,
like that genre,
that format.
Like a format works better. Like a science fiction fantasy works better than a slow romance.
I was thinking like she found her because you know like the way you tell stories on TV is a lot more different than how you do it for the movies.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, so I'm glad that she's found like her, you know, her island.
Right, and I feel like probably some of the shortfalls that we have on this is just a very early directorial debut, and if she redid this or did something like this now, she probably would be able to flush those things out a lot cleaner.
Yeah, and I think one of the other issues too was that this movie was based on 2 different books. Which is Sarah Dessen's novels That's Summer and Someone Like You, and I think that's the problem is like you're like it feels like she condensed 2 books into 1 movie,
right?
Which you know historically especially for a rookie movie director is pretty ambitious.
It is, yeah.
Because I don't think I've seen even like a veteran director do that cleanly. Like everyone that's ever read the books are like, you ruined the books.
Right, yeah. It's always when you try to smash too many books into a movie, you're like, you miss something or things are too jumbled up. Yeah.
And like really I think the only people that's ever really gotten away with it, which I don't think a lot of people have realized, is like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We talked about that in our episode of that, where was it like the BBC radio version is different from the book,
right? And
then the movie's obviously different from the book.
Yeah.
And then if you have that sort of like history, then it kind of like, oh, that makes sense then.
Right.
But like for this one, for it to be like, I'm gonna assume those 2 books are young adult novels.
Right. I guess it's one of those things that you get so many of those series where you're like, hey, there's 5 books, so we'll just make 5 movies. But on something like this, you're like, we're probably not going to get a sequel, so let's take the best parts out of the 2 books and kind of try to make a cohesive film.
Yeah. Which I don't think. Oh man, but you know what, guys? We're coming up to our time, so I want to let you guys know. Make sure to check out all of our other all of our other previous months. We have a whole bunch of things there for you. We got movies you've probably never seen. We got like Hulu movies. We got
Tubi exclusives. Shudder exclusives.
Yeah, we got a lot of things there for you. We had theme months like Jason Parson recommendation month.
Yep.
You know, that's the guy who did John Dies at the End.
Yeah, he does some recommendations on TikTok, and I was like, oh, well, let's do movies that he's recommended.
Yeah, and those are real thinkers. Some of those.
You're right. Yeah.
But yeah, so we definitely we have a wide variety of genres for you guys to check out. So make sure to check those out. But if this is the first time you guys are joining us, first of all, thank you. And we do our reviews in 4 different sections. We got Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray It, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Colby, where are you at for this one?
Probably gonna have to go Stream It on this one. I really did enjoy this movie, but I don't feel like it's a movie that I would go back and rewatch often.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's probably the first time I've said something different, like, something a little bit above you. I would have to go DVD just because of the possibility that Mandy Moore's not wearing a bra in that one scene. I'm gonna have to buy the DVD so I can
just watch it in slow mo.
No, I like Mandy Moore. I think she's probably one of the few successful music to acting people out there, especially for like the 90s pop stars trying to act, whereas kind of Disney-like, cringy, Disney Channel type of TV show. And Mandy Moore, obviously, from time and time again, has been able to prove everyone wrong.
That's right. She's one of the few that have come through that Disney conveyor belt, not all chopped up.
And the one thing that also the one thing I have to say is that this movie uses Cat Stevens, which is always great. I mean, it's like I think it's like his most famous song, which is Wild World, but still, another thing that kind of upset me is that Mandy Moore didn't sing on the soundtrack.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like when you got a singer as your main actor, you gotta at least throw one song in there,
right?
Opening theme or something.
Yeah. Oh, also I think one thing that this movie could have used, a Stifler. Like if Scarlett was like the sort of like the comedic relief or something, because like Forrester was a little too serious. He was funny, but he was only like, obviously he was like trying to be funny for Mandy Moore,
right?
Trying to work the charm, which is fine, but like you just need one comedic relief.
And Scarlett could have been that, but then
tragedy struck.
Once she got pregnant, they were like, whoop, let's remove her for the
last portion of the last half of the movie,
until all of a sudden she's having the baby, and then we'll bring her back in to be that catalyst.
Yeah, just so because you can really tell the time of this movie, how long it's like a whole school year condensed in this movie.
Yeah,
because it takes 9 months, right?
Right.
Obviously, she got pulled out of school. Or maybe she just took her GED or something because she wasn't in school anymore. Because, once you're pregnant in high school, you're like a freak show.
Yeah.
It's sad to say because everyone's going to talk about you. Obviously, everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, there she is. And now her would-be baby daddy was dead. That's like 2 layers of just like, obviously there's going to be gross guys like, dang, it was so good.
And there was a weird introduction of like the mean girl.
Yeah.
But then there was no real follow up. And then all of a sudden at the end,
she's like, "Don't break Forrester's heart. He's such a nice guy."
Well, like she gets out of the Forrester's car, and she's all like, "Oh, now you're hooking up with the mean girl?" And he's like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Oh, okay, yeah, because I was like, "Oh, did he just like give her a ride or something?"
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you're a girl. You're a girl, and you're
a teenage girl,
and some girl gets out of your boyfriend or ex-boyfriend or whatever's car. You're like,
what's it called? Your situationships car.
Yes.
That's what the kids call it nowadays. Yes. Situationships. Yep. That's what they have now. They don't call it dating. It's a situationship where you can't date other people, but we're not boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yes.
Kids are so fucking weird now.
I would just go home and sit on my computer and play video games.
You'd be a streamer. You might be you might be a pretty decent streamer. Like you'd be like that New Zealand woodworker guy. Have you heard of his story? He was just woodworking during COVID, and then someone like donated like $5 to him, and he's like, "Oh, you didn't have to do that." Oh no, brother! Like, you should keep your money, man. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm trying to do the Kiwi accent. It's kind of hard, you know. And he just like blew up because everyone's like, "Oh, he's so awesome." He's like, "Oh, guys, you don't stop donating to me. You don't. I'm just doing this for fun." I think I'm super close to nailing it.
It's like it's like, oh, you hit it. Oh, where'd it go?
Yeah, super nice guy, and you just that would be you'd be dropping fucking comic book facts during play,
right? Only playing comic video games, Spider-Man and stuff.
Oh, you would probably make it kill it if you do let's play a Superman 64. This game was terrible.
Yeah. Terrible.
But you're playing through. It's like, look how I clipped through this. Oh. You could probably do it now. You could probably even do it now. Have you seen the grandpa that plays Battlefield? He's like an ex-sniper. So he's so funny because everyone in the comments is like, some veterans get PTSD. This guy is just reliving highlight reels because he's super good at sniping. He's killing dudes left and right. It is insane when you watch his clips. But they also say it's good for just what was it called? Keep the old mind lubricated.
It's true.
Right?
Yep.
Oh man, but yeah, thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check it out as a theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music Podcast 3, and our Bandcamp is down below.